Happy days. Happy Friday. It's time for some FACEIT Link. We're capping out week 3. We are, I'm getting kind of in the rhythm of this thing, aren't we? I mean, it's hard to imagine we were already 3 weeks in, that we're already basically 6 games, into season 7. I feel like this season just started yesterday, right? No, we are knee deep. In fact, we've got 1 more week left after this week, and then we are going to be heading into a bit of a holiday New Year's break, kind of splitting our off-season season in half here. But you know what? That's in the future. Here in the present, I've got a banger, and I mean barn burner, absolute tippity top, 2 juggernauts, 2 Goliaths going at it head to head. With Vanir Quick taking on NewGens. Both teams coming in undefeated. This is Kaiju v Kaiju, or however that's supposed to be pronounced. I'm from Texas, bear with me. But, I mean, this is going to be gladiators to the tippity top, as many metaphors and more as we can throw at this one. 2 undefeated squads. Let's take a look. We're going to jump right into standings. Don't want to miss a beat. Make sure we can give our teams their fair minutes here, of which we have precious few. Let's take a look at our standings and get into it. You have Quick coming in 5-0. They are your number 1 seed in our power rankings currently. You have NewGens coming in 4-0. The only reason they're listed down here is because they have 4 games played compared to where some teams like Here for Views have 6 games played. But those are 3 of your 4 undefeated teams remaining in EMEA Expert here for Season 7. We're going to be down to maximum, at most 3. By the end of today. This one came requested. I've been looking forward to this one. Absolutely excited to get this banger of a matchup on stream. Let's zoom in on our teams here just a little bit before we get to the top of the hour. Vanir Quick technically picking up a new slot coming in this season. Banger roster of very recognizable names with Skytor, Lancelot at the lead here for Vanir Quick, and so far have been pretty darn flawless. This does include a 3-0 over Sync, which is probably their biggest threat thus far. Sync kind of a one-trick skill check team that quickly rose into our rankings when we just did our power rankings review. But Quick still firmly on top and have been perfect. Have not dropped a map yet. And I mean, you look at some of these maps where it's they have sub 10 deaths total for the team, right, for the map, and that was on Shambali Monastery. That's on an escort where it was a full 3-0 push as well. We're not talking about a 4-minute map, right? Like they at least completed the map. We saw all 3 points, that kind of thing. This is how dominant Quick has been. So NewGens has been another promising squad. This is a kind of an old slot rebuilt, but a new name and a new face here in Overwatch as far as the NewGens organization. Both of their teams that they have here in Expert Division are doing quite well. And this NewGens team, we also have ranked pretty high. I'll go ahead and pull up those power rankings here for you. We are at top of the hour. Wrecking Ball banned out here from Quick. All right, so NewGens coming in 4-0 currently. Pretty much a brand new squad built on top of the frame of what remained. I believe it was Quasar. I mean, they have been exceptional, and just going through and double checking now. It's gonna be an Ash Band coming through from NewGens. But as I was saying, so NewGens, I believe that is their only map drop. Is that one to Fat Pigs? So other than that, have been flawless as well, but I don't feel like have been as tested. This is hands down, far and away, their biggest test so far this season, but an extremely promising, newly rebuilt squad, we'll say, coming into Season 7. This one is going to be very telling. How strong is this new squad truly coming into this year? We are ready to get into Ilios. We're starting off on well. All right. We're looking at NewGens, Buffy is at the helm, which was a question mark. There was, at the very beginning of the season, it was a question whether Buffy was only in for the quals or was sticking around with the team, I believe. So we have seen Buffy play throughout the season. Comes in on the hazard here to start with the Wrecking Ball banned out. Skytor pulls in the Wenton. This is going to be XSJ alongside Fenris here in the Echo. Then, of course, you've got Yante and Yoham there to round out the back line. So Yante in the Lucio there also with a streamer attack. But XSJ is able to find opening pick here. Does themselves end up traded, but not before the fight is won, and we do get quick in control after that initial engagement. Of course, after the big patch, we have continued to see more and more Echo. We're already seeing Echo played a bit here in Season 7, even before Season 20 dropped for, in-game itself. We are seeing far less Freya after that nerf, even here on Ilios. Yeah. Soj for both teams. Fenris 66% towards their OC, but Anmu just locked down Skytor with that. That was that. Skytor just jumped in. You saw the eyes just go wide on the Winton. As they knew immediately, they put themselves right in the crosshairs, right into spawn immediately with that jump in. Nice little finish there. There's Whitebeard to grab a pair. Where did we see Whitebeard last season? Well, Whitebeard Gyru has been a standout main support. And when I was looking at this team, this is one of the names when I saw this team put together that, I was like, oh, I know this. I rate this main support highly. But then I was like, then now, just today here, like, wait a minute, where did we see old Gyru play last season? I believe it was in Master Division, right? Was 86% towards this sound barrier, pretty much right in step with it's Yante on the other side. That's right. Yeah, sound barrier, Kitsune rush engage. Sound barrier is in there from Yante and Quick. Try to hold this. You're going to use a duplicate as well. Fenris is the only one holding on to their ultimate, as a matter of fact. The Skytor is able to find one environmental already. And the double tanks should be more than enough. The duplicate downpour locks down Yoham. Excuse me, that lockdown mysterious. Yoham just happened to die simultaneously, and the kill feed bug was in blue. But Fenris manages to hold on to this overclock. Are they going to get back in time to use it? Fenris will find Whitebeard and get the flip. Or absolutely find a spot to use it. Buffy has with a great pair to open it up. And a fast-paced, explosive round one. Like, whew. I need to get some tea, get some caffeine, get warmed up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go grab my tea, but right. I know, I can only throw back so fast with a pot full of hot tea. No composition changes coming into the lighthouse. Early position here from Fenris and Quick. Looks like Buffy might try to move up and aggress. As soon as they do, Skytor leaps into your backline. Forces a Susan to be used for Mysterious and keep their own back line alive. Good peel. Where's Hambu? Okay, Hambu had to pull all the way back. We did get an early cap here from NewGens while Quick was hanging out on the high ground. Fenris is able to pick up one, but you lose Skytor. Some serious and effort tiptoeing off the point. Oh no! Hanmu ends up sliding down into the Drake. Obviously, that did not go as planned. Clipped off the side of the railing there. Yante booped off, but will skate their way back onto dry land while Fenris finds an exit pick. Very split approach out of NewGens as they come back in. Not the usual high ground approach. Not giving any easy targets there for Skytor. Buffy has kind of snakes their way on the objective where Mysterious Layer is in a Kitsu. But you've got a duplicate here to counter. And Buffy is just trying to get out clean. No one else is really able to join Buffy as in that group. You know, you can see the plan. Get on point, throw a Kitsu. They get there. There's only 2 players there. That duplicate from XSJ is still finding value all the way to the shuttle. So back-to-back fight wins from Quick. And they are suddenly looking at 60%. There's the drop down. Effort's already delivered an opening pick here for the other side. You're hoping for the Yante Soundbear. It's not going to happen, at least not in the next 15 seconds or so. Buffy has layers in another kill. And NewGens are right back in control. They're going to find a pick on this Skytor, who holds onto their sustain hold as well. So, Sound Barrier as well as that Primal Rage still in the pocket. NewGens only at 30%. But they have, you know, some good ults to match. You have a Sound Barrier, but you've also got a couple of, you got a CC ult as well as a high damage ult. So a good variety of kinds of ultimates that can be easily paired here. XSJ, oh, just way out in enemy territory. I mean, early pick, but you did draw a lot of aggro that direction. Skytor getting chased is going to go ahead and pop the Primal, leaps in. Decides to hone in on the least favorable target so they can find where Mysterious went. Downpour and Sound Barrier layered in. Ooh, actually, that Downpour was from, the Sound Barrier was from Quick. And Fenris has got the OC at 83%. Is this going to be enough to close it out? A kill onto the Tracer would almost certainly make it so, but Effort's able to find the kill. Lands a Pulse Bomb. And they've stayed alive, importantly. Oh, I spoke too soon. Fenris, hunt you down. You heard the slide in. Cleans off the flank. It's a desperate touch. Et al. Will not get it. Looked like Skytor's jump in actually CC just enough to keep Buffy as off the point. And Quick will take our second round. All right, we're headed to Ruins. So far, NewGens still seem to be winning more team fights by 1 or 2. Teleport out of spawn for Quick, and they've gotten early positioning multiple times. No swaps of DPS-wise, like we're not seeing an Ashe or a Widow or anything here. Both hit scans are sticking with Sojas. And we are getting SSJ going to the Tracer. I was thinking that the Echo might struggle on this map. It's one of the things I was thinking. And so for this third map alone, we will see XSJ make the change. Does this give Effort an advantage? You know, who's comfortably sat in this Tracer for the entirety of this opening map. I mean, even Tracer had to be one of those heroes you kind of specifically need to warm up on Tracer. Maybe that's just my, you know, old man experience, but... Well, Effort's kind of validating a little bit. First pick, opening cap. Both have gone to NewGens. The former courtesy of Effort, looking to chase down Skytor. Looks like high ground control spanning across his left-hand side. Here comes Fenris and company. They're going to take that back. Skytor is going to try to leapfrog themselves into some more space, but the bubble gets destroyed and they're forced out. So they're not able to get that space back. Buffyaz wants to counterpunch. Has gotten in a little deep and will get destroyed. Yeah, Buffyaz bit off more than they can chew. Looking to try to strike back. Puts themselves in a bad spot. This is a huge opening, but you just traded it. Okay. Yeah, no, you have just traded it. Kill feed might have just got me back, but my instincts were correct. Mysterious actually just clawed this back in. A nasty trade there out of the Kiriko. Trust your instincts, friends. I'm inclined to just turn off this kill feed at this point. Let's create smarter Overwatch. Let's just turn off the kill feed. Lexus J lands a beautiful stick, taking Whitebeard out of the fight. This is going to give Ayante an advantage with the sound barrier if they want to use it. Yoev's going to be the first to invest. The Kitsu directed at a very low Buffy as Skytor finds that pick. NewGens will get it up to 99%. They lose Effort very early in the fight or late in the fight. It's hard to tell which. Effort will get back quick, but this is a fast-moving team. Buffyaz' company... We're going to go ahead and invest overclock. We're moving. Ombu's found Fenris. Whitebeard kind of separating the backline in, comes back, drops the beat. Skytor with the Primal Rage. Unclear if the downpour was able to get anything. Skytor's still out here swinging. Flip in from NewGens at 99%. Kitsune Rush on the point. Skytor's run out of resources, run out of time. NewGens hang on through this bloodbath of a fight on this point. And a Rider Quicker on the verge of losing their very first map of the season. We will get Fenris dropping him with an overclock. Skytor's returning on a Doomfist. He's got the punch up, or the block up rather, and is trying to hold the line. Fenris has been kept in bay with the wall, and Skytor will get cut down. So it'll be up to XSJ to hold, and they can't make it back. Quick will lose their first map of the season. Fseto, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. We're gonna get a new Junk City pick. Here out of quick. Fresh pot of green jasmine. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Wow, I'm flabbergasted. Lucio Pan here out of quick. Let's go look at some stats. I'm anxious to see these stats. What are we saying here? We definitely saw NewGens one more team fights. I mean, 10 deaths for Skytor. It's not what you want to see from your Winston. Right? Getting 50, high damage mitigated. I mean, you kind of see the bubbles are just getting evaporated, not getting a lot of value out of the bubbles through that. Both tanks with equal damage, essentially. 24 and 6 there for Buffyaz. Effort actually leads the lobby in elims. They're in the Tracer. So, I mean, just an all-around good team effort. They're out of NewGens. There's a lot of damage from your tank. Your Tracers are following up. We saw, I mean, really saw Mysterious. I mean, Mysterious saving that fight was so huge. So I'm really looking at this backline. How much is backline's getting involved? hanging in there in elims, with your hit scan. Which the same cannot be said for Yoe Mignante. It was a Symmetra ban here from NewGens heading into New Junk City. Let's get a map 2. All right, both teams going brawl here. Ooh, we're looking at slightly different backlines, a little bit more damage there from NewGens, with Nilio picking up the Wu Yong in this composition. Also looks like a bit of a split. You can see playing alongside Effort here from the flank side. So we're looking at a 3-2 split from NewGens as they approach this first fight. Vanir quick has mashed, a little dash in, trying to harass Venris. The peel is good, Effort is popped. Skytor and company converge. Venris locks down on the head of Effort. XSJ also on the venture. We'll turn and chase out Mysterious. Clean up this kill. First cap of our opening flashpoint goes over to Vanir quick. Kind of interesting seeing the Venture Sojourn mirror here. Venture may be the anti-Vendetta at this point. You can kind of play the better Vendetta or play a Venture to kind of ensure the other team can't run over you with a Vendetta, who we will see introduced starting next week. So Vendetta will be playable on the 15th, starting Monday. All right. 52%. This is quickly turning into a last opportunity to do something here for NewGens on this point. They've kind of gotten squeezed in. Buffy is just going to pop a Nemesis form and get some space. Form fades. Now they're kind of backing up and forced to rotate. This leaves that backline vulnerable for a moment. You can see the speed rush down from Skytor. Use the speed ring from Yoem and try to get in. It's going to pop the Annihilation on the squishies and takes Nilio and Effort out of the fight. Will drain them of all life and limb in any hope of taking this opening flashpoint. Quick with a flawless start here on New Junk City. Ooh, hiding on the corner. I don't think Skytor saw Buffy is there. Give me a Kitsu here out of NewGens. Try to escort on to this point. Crowbar the way onto this point. We saw Skytor take it down. I believe it was, I don't know if it was underneath. I didn't see exactly how it happened, unfortunately. But, I mean, that's a massive advantage early in the fight. Props to Effort for that. And that's going to get first cap over to NewGens. You built up a Tectonic Shock. In fact, we're pretty much dead even in ultimates from both sides. The big difference I'm looking at here is Buffyez with this Annihilation. Overclock kind of the X factor of the fight. Maybe Fenris just could open up with a huge pick and put it into it right then and there. Joab's going to drop the orbital right to initiate. Quick are the ones to go first. Ooh, but a wide swing from Onbu. They will get destroyed, but XSJ has got a Tectonic Shock in. It's actually Effort who finds the kills. That was 4 ultimates invested from from NewGens 3. Thrown in from the other side. 212 RJ, thank you for the follow. Quick R, in fact, down a map. Their very first map dropped of the season. And it's a 100-0 on Refinery. We're heading next door to Ducks. I'd say there was a little bit of a split there, but effort rejoins. You see XSJ comes flying off the top left-hand side of your screen there. They're gonna get the duel. They see effort drill dash in, thinking Mysterious is vulnerable. Excuse me. That is gonna be Yoham is vulnerable. Yante. God. I'll just try to make this as confusing as humanly possible on me. Let's go, Life. What you got? What else you got? First cap goes to Quick. %25% advantage for Mysterious on this Kitsu. Over Yante on the other side. Effort gets two, and they get control. Vanir's not able to find what they were looking for with the overclock. And it just felt like everybody died so fast. It was like before you knew it, Vanir had run out of teammates. But hey, Yante will get the Kitsu up into this fight. Effort hiding around the corner. Gonna drill dash out. Orbital tossed in. Oh, excuse me, that was a Kitsune rush tossed in there from Yante. It's really just enough to get you a high ground. Ooh, that was a good shot on Abu. Gets you low. Buffy's is going to pop the Annihilation and drops down to the point. But XSJ is able to burrow. And Yante comes up with the pick. XSJ's got Mysterious low, and there's the cleanup from Quick. And they'll flip the point 80 to 40. Effort sneaking around with this Tectonic. Woo! Ambush! But the person you hit is Yante with the Swift Step in the Kitsu. Or in the Suzu. XSJ once again wins the battle of the Dig Duggers. Jump in, Tectonic Shock. 1 and 4 used. 2. No damage thus far. Let's drill dash into the background. Got some good chunky ones in there. You pick up the carry with that second shot. Some nasty damage on the Skytor as well. They don't have enough to hang on. But Finish is able to trade. Ram for ramp. Quick take the point in the 2-1 lead of the map. Yante on a bit of an assassin mission. Ooh, playing with fire there. Oh, just gonna jump around into the orbital. Skytor comes in from the high ground, and everybody regroups on point to try to take advantage of the space beams. But Onbu is just there with a triple kill on the overclock. The space beam ends up just being a giant highlighter. Says Onbu, please direct your fire here. Don't even knock it out. Onbu claims 4. First cap will go to NewGens. Start things off on Junkyard. You hold on to Tectonic Shock and to your Annihilation. Both of which are just very good at clogging the choke. Very tough to break this open. Now, I will say, Quick have a lot of tools with which to do it with. Holding on, well, they didn't really have their Kitsu, and holding on to their overclock. So the OC out of Fenris, they stuck around. Beautiful shot on Ilios. Oh my goodness. And then Mysterious, you just got destroyed. Judo moves here with a rail gun. Fenris with a beautiful 4K. John Wick, eat your heart out. An impressive showing there from the Sojourn. Wow, a gorgeous, gorgeous OC. It means you hold on to your Kitsune Rush for this next fight as well. You only need that one small investment to take the point. And you have important tools here with which you can clog the choke. In fact, this fight taking place awkwardly there in the back blue area. Tectonic Shock in from Effort to try to unlock this. XSJ down early in the fight for one of the very few times here on New Jung City. Effort goes bravely diving into the Kitsune Rush, is eventually forced out though. With the Tectonic Shock fade, no choice but to fall back, wait for their tank to get back into this fight. A6%, 2 points on the board. We're gonna get, this time XSJ trying to clog up this choke point with their ultimate. 1 to 3 in. There's the second. 2 shots down. Neither able to hit Anbu. Anbu barely sliding out of the way, but you've had Yante here to pick up a pair, make it a 3-piece for Yante to tie up the series.
This ends now. Headshot. That's 2. I warned you. Let's get back to basics.
All right, we're all knotted up. You know, Abu gets a 3K, then Fenders gets a 4K. You know, and you just swing the economy with that. You're quick, able to hold on to 2 very, very important ultimates for that final fight. Massive advantage, very well played. And that's where a really strong hit scan can really carry you forward. You see Fenris here at 22 and 2, 8,400 damage, leading the DPS in the server. We're going to new Queen Street with a Cassidy ban out of NewGens as a response. We're going to see a Wu Yong ban out of Quick as we get ready for new Queen Street.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Wrecking Ball composition here out of NewGens. Woo! Very quick ambush. Recognizing there's no front line. Immediately quick go running into that back line. Oh. It's their own Tracer who gets caught. XSJ surprisingly caught out by the Wrecking Ball. Becomes the first to fall. Kick things off into Queen Street. Skytor sacrifices themselves to try to clean up this top bridge. Ends up just being everybody corralled in the corner. Fenris desperately trying to get out of there, but will not find escape. First fight goes to NewGens. Some early progress, start things off. Oop. Recall force there on XSJ.
They have the lead. Stop that.
Old enough. Knowledge, old enough. Yeah, you didn't have to specify. I think everybody knew who you were asking. Buffyaz goes down 96%. Clap back. They're out of quick. They start marching the other direction. Why are you asking? I guess that would be my response. Why are you asking? But don't say just curious. That is a cop-out response. Skytor getting aggressive. They do have self-destructive they want. And back in the back line, oh, here Lucio's in a lot of trouble. Mines were kind of haphazardly thrown out there right over the subway. Or over the train car. Skytor able to find an important pick here amidst the chaos. Kind of finds Whitebeard right in the middle. Good call out. They catch the Lucio out of position. Fenris will layer another one on top of that. Now Mysterious here low. Woo, will force the recall out of XSJ. Force them to back up, but you've been able to match the distance here if you're quick. Kitsune rush and try to take it all the way to the checkpoint. You have Mysterious with the match. Sound barriers from both squads in here as well. Skytor taking a lot of damage. Is forced to use that self-destruct, but is able to get back in mech, and Yolam picks up an important kill, taking Anbu out of the fight. That OC could have been a big difference maker. Instead, it is Quick who have the overclock of that extra punching power. A lot of damage. 2 shots is all it takes to take Mysterious down. Now you've cut the damage and the sustain out of this fight for NewGens. And Quick are almost sure to get the cap. Nearly well, Gyro win equals wins. Maybe. Let's see. We do in fact get the butt scratch moment here for TS1. Looks like a little do-si-do. Actually trying to do a pincer. Roll in from the back on the OC from the front. Buffyes is able to isolate Yohem. Anbu found the kill on the Yante. Between the two, NewGens get the cart going back the other direction. Now, there will be another fight. They're not going to get checkpoint off of this. Skytor booped out of that middle high ground. Anbu immediately comes in to take up the slack. Effort drops a pulse in. Got him low, but had to back out. You had Yante there to back him up. Anbu's still playing out of this middle walkway. He's got good sight lines down over the street. And this is going to give NewGens control, push the bot slightly ahead into the corner. This is actually going to move the fight to this corner, where Buffyes is going to place the mines over the checkpoint. Skytor wants to take it back the other direction, get him more on equal footing. With effort down, the likelihood of that is growing thin. You don't have the tracer in here to kind of help you juggle on the point. Skytor is able to take the bot back. We're playing in the middle of the map again. Now Whitebeard's down. Another player out of this fight here for NewGens. Exacerbated by the Kitsune rush, NewGens is just going to go ahead and reset. We're giving up on that fight. Little roll through, trying to prevent the checkpoint from being reactivated, the close spawns from being reactivated. How did that not go to XSJ's pop? Okay. But you pick up a kill on to Wrecking Ball. Quicker continuing to move on the lead. Good boop out of Whitebeard. Kidnaps Fenris. You're able to find an important clapback after losing Yante early in the fight. Whitebeard's going to go down and try to tackle Yoim as well. But they win that one out. Switch step out to the top. Here where they can top of Skytor, help run off effort. Still, NewGens are able to get control of the bot. Buffy is close to some mines and everything else is ready to go. Pile drive into the back lines. Looking on to set up these long sight lines with the overclock. Had 2 on the right-hand side, trying to dance around, see if they can find them, catch them peeking through these windows, but they're not giving any easy shots over to Anbu's OC. Whitebeard was trying to boop him out, help out with that. Just forced to return back to the tape. There's a momentary tux there from XSJ. It's actually Skytor coming in to re-engage. Has a self-destruct to play with, but you're playing right into a Kitsune Rush. Sound barrier down here from Yante. Keep quick fighting amidst this Kitsu. Self-destruct has been forced out of Skytor, though. And now Buffyez could just mine right in front of these stairs. Loses the opportunity. Quick have been forced off the street, though. Ooh! Quick headshot kill, though, picking from XSJ. And despite feeling like Quick was on the back foot, they've been able to find an important kill onto that Kiri. Yolim's going to go ahead and invest their Kitsu, knowing there's not one to match. But Buffyez and Anbu and company have been able to hold the line, despite playing into the Fox-laden bricks. Effort to win out the Tracer duel. Should be checkpoint here from NewGens. Yep, the touch, nice. Interrupted from Buffyez. Back and forth there, but quick find, 2 in a row. Fenris just delivering here in the mid-fight, in the middle of the map, with a $1:20 to go and a quick lead. Fenris has been a tour de force here over the past 2 maps. It just felt like nobody could get close. NewGens has to respect both of the angles, both sight lines that Fenris was covering. So it's a regroup here around the checkpoint. Overclocked duel between the two. Oh, I hit the wrong. There we go. Slide through from Anbu. Take Fenris down. But that is Bo Sojourns out of the fight. Skytor moves in, runs off the ball. We'll go claim control of the bot. Make sure their supports are okay. Meanwhile, off point, you got XSJ winning a fight over with Whitebeard. Quick continue pile on the player advantage. Skytor's march the bot up the left-hand side. 96 to 57 meter lead. XSJ with a pulse. We're playing here at the low ground, trying to let NewGens walking in. Moves in, double blink, will not get the stick. Actually gets the kill on the Whitebeard anyway. A disastrous turn here for NewGens. They would have loved to have had that sound barrier into this fight. Beautiful tax to claim a kill on to Fenris, though. Buffyez has some mines to work with, sitting on top of both supports. They're going to punch through Yoham and save the mines for the next fight. You will have a Yante sound bearer available, but Whitebeard will have theirs as well. Barring they don't get, disastrously killed here. That pile drive perk doing a little extra damage for each one of those slams. Double support ults available for both teams. Buffyez with mines, Effort with a pulse, both of which can be difference makers. Effort blinks in, had eyes on Skytor, holds onto it. Sound barrier's in play. Pulse pistols is all you need to get Skytor on the mech. Trying to get the Lucio with the pulse, will not land. Both supports now cowering inside of Egg House as NewGens have mines up over the objective. Skytor and XSJ are the ones coming up with the goods, though. NewGens pinned in against the bus stop. Nowhere to go. No reinforcements left. And Quick take the 2-1 lead in the series. So after dropping their first map of the season, Vanir Quick come back and dominate maps 2 and 3. Which, when you go into New Junk City, it's their map pick. They're kind of playing. They got first ban, right? They had a definite way to execute their. They really hadn't gotten to execute all season. It was their first map pick outside of any control maps. But then on NewGens map pick of New Queen Street, when you're quicker, still able to come in and dominate. It'll be a Shambali Monastery pick here. NewGens completely changing it up. So from a, very Wrecking Ball flavored, a lot of different route options, a lot of different angles for Ombu to swing and effort to play on. This is going to be a lot more confined. We're probably going to go back into the Ramatra Brawl, but we'll see what NewGens want to ban. They're also going to head into the red outlines for the first time today. Hey, you know what? Maybe just swap in the sides. Maybe that's the change they need. Get them back in shape here. It'll be the Echo ban. Look at some stats there from map 3 rather. What stands out in the maps? In the stats, rather. Again, yeah, it looks pretty dominant. We're looking at 23 total deaths versus 31. So, as far as team fights go, not too bad. You can see that in the amount of damage output as well. Where it feels like NewGens actually have more total damage. Maybe. XSJ put up quite a bit. XSJ kind of giving the difference to the DPS line of Quick. So that put Quick over the line there. Just looking at general stats, but then you go look at you look at elims as well. You kind of feel the concerted effort where that's where it kind of that's where it starts to feel a little more lopsided. But I'm not sure how accurate. I think that may be somewhat inflated with just the way that we keep track of elims. I think the closer number of deaths for each team is way more indicative of just how close that map really was, of a truly how knife's edge that map really was. Carry ban out of Quick. We get set up for Shambali. We'll see how they respond. Let's head into Shambali. Looks like Quick coming in on the defense first. We'll use a Juno Iyari backline. And they're sticking with this, right? Oh, I love the Galactic gun. I actually like the skin choice as well. I would prefer the Fuel skin, but the blue and white on the Away skin looks really good with the Galactic weapon. Oh, I'm a fan. That's actually the very next thing we're getting. But I use the Away Fuel skin, which is also the white and blue. But the weapon is all white, so it ends up... it just looks so good. It looks so good. Anyways. Big difference here. We're going to get effort into the Symmetra, where we had the Sim banned out earlier. And there is no Sim to rotate here. With Fenrison and Ashe and Slipstream playing May, this is a far more stagnant composition. Amba's already found opening blood. Buffius is coming back, and Slipstream's just kind of playing off-tank on the point, kind of anchoring and drawing some aggro behind. XSJ is eventually brought down. Opening couple of kills that have gone in NewGens' favor. First minute, very much going their way. They approach the final corner of point A. Skytor would love to take this point back. Form out of Buffiez. Skytor waiting until they're on the brink of losing their armor before they pop their own form. Try to jump back in the window, but it only temporarily escapes them from disaster. Teleporter gets Buffius into the face of XSJ, swap it over to this farm, but them alongside Yante are able to bring down Whitebeard. It's the first pick here for this defense. XSJ layers in another one, and with only 2.5 meters, less than 2.5 meters, they're able to find the kills necessary to stop the cart. You do end up with Skytor kind of stuck on the Doomfist. Yeah, there were a couple more kills in there than I expected through that, but still. Teleport up top. Sim barrier drop down low. Captive Sun in from Yante trying to hold this. Didn't see if anybody got hit by the Sunstruck. But we're going to get the sound barrier out of NewGens in hopes of pushing this home. But Bob, Orbital on point. Nothing but blue jerseys everywhere. Skytor finishes off Mysterious up top. Quick will hold. The reset out of Buffy is right at the 60-second mark. Well placed orbital, well timed Bob to help fend off against the photon barrier engage. I love the creativeness. Oh my goodness. Thanks to Shay picks up a pair here while I'm talking. You also have Buffy as it literal one. Yo, it what's the kill? You get form out. Skytor comes in to help out. They will get it. A late stagger onto the Ramatra is going to make things very awkward here for NewGens. As they are suddenly faced with losing their first series of the season. Rockets pouring in right on top of this teleporter. XSJ is sitting point blank. Amu's got to pop OCs. Got to get him out of this little spot, but they can't get back to the point. It's too little, too late for NewGens. And Quick's win con for the map in the series sits on point A.
Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Interesting. Okay. So NewGens will go to the Yari for this defense as well. But we're running a double hit scan look with effort pulling out the Freya. This almost puts Freya in more of a flex DPS position. And I was just kind of pontificating this earlier today that I think Freya is still low-key good. She's just not good at the same things as she was before patch. Before patch, she was good at the 2-tap insta-kill. And that burst damage was what made her so dangerous. I think she's still very, very good. It's just not at that. Effort confirms a kill on to Yante right in the beginning here. And notice how fast that this Freya will get this ultimate online. And don't forget, this ultimate got a pretty significant buff. You know, everybody kind of focused on the damage nerfs onto Freya. Don't overlook the buff that this ultimate got. It's basically like Halt 2.0 with slow added. An attack from Quick, though, over the wall and through the house to flip this map, but you lose Yante on the rotation. Skytor will not make it back into cover either. Onbu is able to pick up a whole host of kills. They are in close corners inside the room, finding 3 to close out that first fight. And so there's effort at 93%. So, I mean, Bolo shot with just, I mean, a dynamite on top. I mean, you're doing some nasty, nasty damage. We'll see if you're able to, especially in a brawl comp like this. So that's why I think I love this pick. I love seeing this pick in action right here. And I think this is playing this more as a flex DPS than it is your hit scan, right? Given your Onbu staying back here and is your big damage threat, picking up 2 with a Bob invested into this fight. Skytor gets cut down. And that's suddenly half of Quick's time bank is gone. NewGens find themselves 2 minutes away from the fuller hold in a map 5. Fenris dies early. Zombu's going to connect with another one here. I was looking at XSJ perhaps move in with this Blizzard, but there's no targets left. You can see XSJ just turns the corner and there's nobody within sight. Onbu's sitting on the high ground, killing everybody. And you still have to respect, you know, the threats that effort can put out. I mean, this Freya still puts out a truckload of damage, even if you can't two-tap confirm the kill. And don't forget, you can go up and over here. And you can see Finner is forced to kind of respect that. There's the bolo shot. Looks like it was thrown inside the house. May is going to get caught. No Blizzard into this fight. Blizzard is tossed in from Fenris to try to get themselves out here, but a defensive Captive Sun's done work. Still, Fenris is able to pick up a kill. Skytor clean up on the objective itself, and quick, win one of the 2 fights necessary to take the series home. Time for a recontest for sure. Defense will have a Captive Sun and an Amp Matrix. On moving some long sight lines here. Effort goes in the Tracer to help to tap onto the cart with Buffy-S. Mysterious drops the Captive Sun to start. Would love to get the Juno. Does get the sunspot and the shot in. Taking Yohima out of the fight early. Blizzard onto the objective here from Quick, though. You've got Frozia. You got Buffy-S is a Frozia-S. Now the Annihilation's in play. Skytor melts through Whitebeard, melts through Onpo. And Quick will not give up another map. Not today, at least. They'll move to 6-0 on the season. Some stats there from map 4. Honestly, it looks close. It looks real close. Quick are able to take it in the end. Like, really felt like, what was the difference maker there? I mean, Skytor went in, had the Annihilation to work with. Was able to just kind of outlast on the objective, it felt like. Once you close the gap, once you're able to close the gap with the May, I mean, you had the Blizzard to lock down the point as well. So, I mean, just from out of spawn, like your hero choices, your ultimate choices, you know, Quick end up on the objective with only needing to grab that final fight. You can throw Blizzard in, you throw Annihilation in. Makes it very difficult for, and very costly for NewGens to contest, right? It costs resources, it costs your health bar, it costs ultimates, it costs whatever you can throw at it to try to contest. Makes it very expensive. So Quick are able to just kind of leverage, to throw some weight at it, essentially, to leverage that final fight. But it felt really close. You're looking at, what is this, 20 deaths over 18 deaths overall from Quick. You're looking at 1925 deaths. So 18 to 25 in deaths. Feels very, very close. Fudgy! Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Thank you for being here. Fenris with 8,600 actually leads the lobby in damage there in Shambali Monastery. I think Fenris has got to be your player of the match. You see 14-2 there in Shambali. Had another, you know, super low death, 22-2 earlier on New Junk City. Isn't quite as flawless on New Queen Street. And certainly not so on Ilios, but nevertheless was always a huge damage threat. That huge 4K, probably, you know, your play of the match, like just single individual best play of the series was that Fenris 4K. That was gorgeous. So, yeah, all in all, we're going to give Fenris your play of the match. Congrats to Quick. Move up to 6-0 here to close out week 3. Let's go take a quick look before we get out on what do you have in store. Coming up to round out the first half of the season, you'll have Dodo in here for views in week 4. Dodo, I hear, is actually really good. Your 7th ranked team coming out of Advanced or something like that. But they picked up a lot of good players and have actually been doing extremely well. I'm excited to get them on stream. And then match versus Here for Views. Here for Views was your other 5-0 team coming into, you know, 6-0 team, excuse me, coming into today. That's your other team at the top of the bracket. And right now I'm kind of thinking this is your number 1 and number 2 seeds. So this Here for Views match might be a must stream next week. As that, I mean, talk about two juggernauts. It's going to be your next two juggernauts. I mean, that was... Whew, it's going to be a good one. That's going to be what a way to finish out the first half of our season. Let's see. If you are NewGens, you've also got Crazy Dodo and Here for Views in front of you. What a horrible... Wow, that's weird. But tough. What a horribly hard schedule. We'll see what NewGens is really made of. There's, again, Crazy Dodo's tough Here for Views, top of the standings. Eobzu is right up there with them. So this is an extremely difficult stretch here for NewGens. I mean, it's the first hardest on their record. We'll see if they can just limit it to that one blemish and see if they can, come out 7-1 heading into the break. That'd be a big ask. It would definitely, I think it would move them up the power rankings, though. You can finish the, 4 weeks at 7-1. We'll re-examine after week 4. You would certainly move up the power rankings there if you're NewGens. Hey, you're the first team to take a map off of Quick. That's already a big feather in the cap. But at the end of the day, it's still Quick who are sitting 5-0.